All right, and we're live again. So the next fight we got is Geoff Neal versus Vicente Luque. This is an interesting one where Geoff Neal is a really good boxer. He's got this like really upright stance, has his hands real high, and he just boxes people's ears off. One of my favorite recent fights was seeing him fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and Stephen Thompson got the better of him, but he really showed that he deserves to be in the top 10, and that he's got serious toughness and serious skills. Hey, I got one viewer. I wonder who that is. Then he's going to be fighting a tough top 5 guy in I believe it's the 170-pound division, I want to say. I guess we'll see in a second. Sometimes these guys jump around weight classes too. But he's going to be fighting Vicente Luque, who is known for his well-roundedness. He's got a really good Darce choke that he likes to apply, which is in the hyper-modern style of jiu-jitsu and MMA, because the Darce choke is I don't want to say it's a hard move to defend, but it is not a very well-known move to defend. And you see a lot more Darce chokes because not a lot of people know how to defend them well. So they got them both in the octagon. They're fighting in the UFC Apex arena, which is something that Dana White built. It's a giant UFC performance institute, and it's in Las Vegas. And he built it during COVID so that they had a place to fight. So the tail of the tape: Vicente Luque 30, Geoff Neal 31. They're both 5'11. Vicente Luque weighs in at 170.5 to 171 for Geoff Neal. Vicente Luque 76-inch reach to 75 inches for Geoff Neal. Should be an interesting fight. Two highly skilled fighters. I wonder if we will see a Darce choke in this match. I would not be surprised if that is part of Vicente Luque's strategy, especially because guys that stand really so far upright in that kind of tall boxing stance that Geoff Neal likes are a lot of times more susceptible to takedowns. But also, sometimes you stand up in that in that tall stance, because you are also super confident in your takedown defense. So a great example of this is a guy like Charles Oliveira, who you see he stands so super tall when he's fighting because he's a super high level jiu-jitsu black belt, and he doesn't care at all if his opponent tries to take him down. He wants to be on the ground. So why even bother having a low stance getting ready to wrestle and defend the takedown? The referee says, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" First round beginning right now. Round 1 of 3 here in the UFC Apex. Let's see. No contact yet. 10 seconds into the first round. Coming up on 15 seconds into the first round. Let's see who throws the first strike. Vicente Luque takes the center of the octagon. He throws a leg kick. And interesting situation here. Vicente Luque comes out in the orthodox stance, and Geoff Neal fighting southpaw. And you can see already Geoff Neal wants to establish his boxing, wants to establish his hands, throwing 1-2s, and Vicente Luque answers. One thing that Vicente Luque, the white guy in the yellow shorts here, is known for is he seems to be impossible to knock out. He's been hit with major shots that would knock out seemingly 99% of the population, but his chin is just so strong. And it's not good to be known for your toughness, but man, Vicente Luque is as tough as they come. So it would be crazy to see Geoff Neal get a finish here. And it also kind of puts a wrench in Geoff Neal's strategy, where the guy seems like impossible to knock out, And Geoff Neal's a good boxer who knocks people out with his hands. Oh, he rocks Vicente Luque there. You don't even often see that. Crazy, crazy. Geoff Neal teeing off on Vicente Luque here. But you see the toughness and the heart of Vicente Luque kind of come in, and he's hard to knock out. He's hard to knock out, but surprising to see him even rocked. He's got a chin of absolute granite. And I wouldn't be surprised if Vicente Luque starts looking for the takedown here, as he seems to he's a well-rounded fighter, and he's probably not going to make this into a striking fight if he's losing the striking battle. Something that kind of boggles my mind in a lot of these MMA fights is good fight. I love this Hulu footage from Ken Shaloya. Yes, yes, Hulu does a great job. If you're watching, this fight's on ESPN, so any provider that ESPN has will have the fight, including Hulu. But as I was saying, Vicente Luque is one of these guys who will absolutely mix it up and make it an MMA fight, whereas some guys like to kind of specialize and only kickbox or only box or only try grappling in the fight. Oof. Geoff Neal really coming forward. It looks like he's probably broken the nose of Vicente Luque, too. Really kind of picking him apart with the hands. So good on Geoff Neal here. Looking real smooth with his boxing, too. Throwing a lot of feints. Feint, feint. Oh, and another really stumbles Vicente Luque. Man, it's really rare to see Vicente Luque kind of off of his rocker like this, and to get rocked a couple times in a round. You know, sometimes too, you see guys that have really, really good chins. Um, there, he gets rocked again, and he goes down. Oh man, this is really bad for Vicente Luque. Sometimes a guy that has a granite chin for a very long time, instantly it goes bad because it's just been tested too many times over and over and over again. Yeah. Geoff Neal really establishing a stiff jab here, and is really picking at the probably broken nose of Vicente Luque here. And he's gotten rocked a bunch of times in this first round. 30 seconds left, and you see Geoff Neal so calm and confident here. Good work from Geoff Neal establishing that jab. And Vicente Luque starting to get a little bit of a read on it and starting to parry the jab, which leaves you exposed for the hook. Yep, and then he's on the wobbly legs here again. 3 seconds left into the first round. Crazy dominant round for Geoff Neal there. Really picked Vicente Luque apart with the boxing. Good stuff. Good stuff there from Geoff Neal. It's crazy because in his recent fight with Wonder Boy, um, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, probably the best karate fighter in the UFC, Stephen Wonderboy just picked him apart and outstruck Geoff Neal. But you see in this fight, Geoff Neal being so ahead in the striking department. I wonder if it's messing with Vicente Luque too, that Geoff Neal is fighting from the southpaw stance and really doing a good job establishing that right hand jab that you don't normally see. They got an interesting commercial going on in the middle here, and it should be back in just a second. The rounds are 5 minutes, and it's a 1 minute break in between the rounds, so they can't go to commercial for too long. Here they are doing some replays of the first round and showing Vicente Luque getting rocked and knocked down, and they're underway fighting round number 2 right now. Really a rare occurrence to see Vicente Luque on those Bambi type legs. And surprising that I haven't seen any takedowns from Vicente Luque either. As I said, a Darce choke would serve him well here. You see Geoff Neal really calm, really relaxed, switching his feet, and it seems to Geoff Neal that he's got this fight in the bag, and he just needs to keep doing what he's doing and picking him apart to get the victory here. Nice, almost like a Superman kind of punch um, for Geoff Neal there. And he's doing something interesting, and this is a tactic that you see a guy like Manny Pacquiao use a lot in boxing, where he's fighting southpaw, but what he does is he fights pretty square, so his shoulders are like exactly square with Vicente Luque, and it almost like it you throw your backhand as a jab as well. So it becomes like hard to actually read the exact distance that the punches are being thrown from. And he's using his backhand almost as a jab and fighting from this square stance, something that is a famous move from Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, you see there again, he's using that backhand almost as a jab rather than a straight down the pipe shot. Where it could be really confusing to have that kind of happen to you in the middle of the fight, where he's jabbing from the backhand side, which is the normal side you see the jab coming from, yet he's in the opposite stance. It's really discombobulating. He Manny Pacquiao most famously used this against Floyd Mayweather, which a lot of people um, say Floyd Mayweather lost that fight from this strategy from Manny Pacquiao. But it seems Vicente Luque is starting to work his way back into this fight. He really needs to make something happen here. Um, I would say it's not as dominant as a round as the first one was for Geoff Neal. And Vicente Luque is sort of working his way back into this fight here. But so far, Geoff Neal is definitely ahead. And Geoff Neal goes for a takedown here. Really smooth stuff here. This is surprising. This is surprising to see such skills from Geoff Neal, and Vicente Luque was just in the top 5, lost a really close fight to Bilal Muhammad, and just dropped right out of the top 5. Geoff Neal throwing some tough elbows here in the clinch. Yikes. And Geoff Neal's, rated 13 in the world. And he's making it look like Vicente Luque is an easy opponent here, just picking him apart with some excellent boxing. Excellent boxing. But as I said, Vicente Luque just does not want to go down. But Vicente Luque really needs to change the strategy here of not making this a boxing fight, because if it's a boxing fight against Geoff Neal, you're going to lose. There he goes, throwing some kicks now, which is good. But I say, do your patented Darce choke and, you know, walk out of there with some brain cells left and do some jujitsu, because throwing hands with the guy the whole time ain't gonna win you the fight. And that concludes round number 2. 4 people watching in the chat. If you're awake out there, throw something in the comment section. That concludes round number 2. A quick commercial break, and we'll be back for round number 3. I got 5 viewers right now. 5 viewers. Throw something in the chat if you are a viewer. I will update you on any results. I'll tell you your future. I'll give you a fortune cookie. Whatever you need, I got you. Needs to BJJ to win. Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree. Thank you, Ken Shaloya. Thank you for participating. I was going to give you the winning lottery numbers if you asked, but you said needs BJJ to win, so I'll comment on that. These commercial breaks are interesting because they try to do a commercial, but by the time it's over, they're already have to get back into the fight again. Third round beginning right now. I got 2 rounds to nothing for Geoff Neal here. I wonder too what the damage is like on Vicente Luque's nose. I wouldn't be surprised if his nose was broken. And it really surprises me too that Geoff Neal's mixing in some takedowns here. I wonder if that is just to get Vicente Luque's hands down and to add further dynamics to the situation where he's got to worry about the takedown and the boxing, because it seems like Geoff Neal's best shot at winning this is through a boxing fight. So he's just throwing in the takedowns just to mix things up a bit. You always need your hands low if you're defending the double legs and the takedowns, and you always need your hands high to defend the boxing and the strikes. So mixing in a takedown or two is a great way to get the opponent's hands lower, which makes his head more available to punch. Ken Shaloy says, I bought Emergency on your Amazon link. So pleased to use the link. Yes, guys, if you want to support the channel and you don't want to donate to my PayPal link, for example, you could just use my Amazon link. It's in the description of the video right now. And oof, a nice cross there onto Vicente Luque's face. Sheesh, 3 minutes, 21 seconds here. And you could just do your regular Amazon shopping if you use my Amazon link. Vicente Luque on deer legs here. Oh, and he looks like he might get finished. A bunch of uppercuts here. This is no good for Vicente Luque, but he refuses to go down. He's just too tough. Oh my gosh, and he gets finished. He gets finished. You never see that. I've never seen Vicente Luque get finished before. It's over. It's over, says Ken Shaloy. It is over. That is nuts. I wonder what happened there. That is a crazy fight. It seems to me that Vicente Luque, something was wrong. He really underperformed in that fight. I think Geoff Neal overperformed and Vicente Luque underperformed. But man, it was hard to watch all of the damage that he was taking in that fight. But man, it's just like Vicente Luque just refuses to go down. Here they're showing the finishing sequence. And man, face down, as they say. He is out. Yes. Crazy stuff there, guys. Crazy stuff. I want to look up Vicente Luque's record. Excellent boxing from Geoff Neal there. Loved the Manny Pacquiao strategy that he was using about using the backhand as a jab and being a little bit more square. And then switching it up in the southpaw stance to confuse Vicente Luque. And man, just excellent, excellent high caliber boxing from Geoff Neal there. So we got one fight left, guys. The Thiago Santos versus Jamil Hill. You are so right. Excellent boxing. Yeah. Thank you, Ken Shaloy, for the comment. The boxing was excellent from Geoff Neal. He didn't even look like he got hit at all, and he just picked apart the seemingly unknockoutable Vicente Luque, who got knocked out. Oh, I was going to look up Vicente Luque's record to see if he's ever gotten knocked out before, because he's known to have this granite chin. Let's see. Man, look at this record here. Vicente Luque goes on. He wins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights in a row. Then he loses to Stephen Thompson. Then he wins 1, 2, 3, 4. Wins 4 fights in a row. Then loses to Bilal Muhammad, and then now loses to Geoff Neal. But let's see. Stephen Thompson. Yep, Stephen Thompson couldn't even finish him. It was a decision for that loss. And then Leon Edwards, decision, and decisions. Yeah, that was the first time he's ever been knocked out. So that's a really crazy occurrence to see him get knocked out like that. And like I said, sometimes guys that are known for having just this absolute granite type chin are known for having that granite type chin until they're known for not having it. And that's almost what that fight looks like. But I wonder what was going on there. And it just did not seem like where I thought the skill levels of these fighters were is how the fight played out. And again, Geoff Neal ranked 13 in the world versus number 6 for Vicente Luque. There's a big difference from being in the from not being in the top 10 to being in the top 10. And Geoff Neal made it look like the guy that was in the top 10 looked like an amateur, which is crazy to see. Crazy to see. Using some really advanced boxing there. They're showing Justin Gaethje, who's ranked number 3 in the world for the 155-pound division, another guy with excellent boxing. You know, it's interesting. They got this idea way back in the day when Chuck Liddell was fighting, something called sprawl and brawl, and they would just sprawl. They would not get taken down, and then they would just brawl. They would try to finish with their hands, and that was something that Chuck Liddell sort of started way back in the day. And it sort of went away for a while, and now it almost seems to be back, where you see performances like that where you just finish the fight with boxing like Chuck Liddell style. Even though there wasn't many sprawls, because Vicente Luque didn't shoot for a takedown. So I guess, you know, he deserved to lose that fight if you're not going to attempt to fight the fight at a different range and you just decide to get picked apart the whole night with boxing. But yeah, it didn't seem quite like a standard Vicente Luque performance. It seemed kind of like the opposite, where he was not his well-rounded self and he got knocked out. So I wonder what was going on with him. Also, maybe Geoff Neal just is that good, that he's been working real hard, and it's just his time to make a resurgence. I don't know. Hard to say. Anyway, we got a great fight coming up with Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill, and that should be a really good one. I'm excited for that. That's the main event, and it's coming up in a second. I'm going to end this stream, and I will go live again for that main event. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you later.